Hi. So this video is going to be a supplement to my other video on collaborative writing, which you should be seeing a link for up there right about now. So as you all know, as my students all know anyway, Penn State is gone digital for the rest of the semester. And a lot of other schools around the country have gone digital because of COVID-19. So, for those of you working in groups for your formal analytical reports, or for people working in groups collaboratively, not in the same physical location, there are additional challenges in terms of writing together effectively. So this video is going to give you a sort of brief overview of some of the things that you can do and some of the strategies that you want to use to try and be as successful as possible when collaboratively writing at a distance. So, the first thing that I think that you want to do is develop a concrete plan. You want to try and work this out between everyone in your group. So, you want to figure out how you're going to divide up any remaining research and the writing tasks. And I talked some about this in the earlier video on collaborative writing, of different strategies for how you might divide that up. Whether each person is responsible for writing a chunk or multiple chunks, whether you want to try and have one person type and have everybody sort of contribute as you go, whether you want to have one person sort of pull everything together out of bits and pieces created by the different group members. But you want to figure out as a group which strategy is going to make the most sense for you. You also want to figure out as a group what means of communication are going to be most effective for you all. So that's going to be one of the big crucial keys here, is you want to make sure that you are communicating continually. So some of the tools and some of the tools that you have at your disposal for this kind of collaboration, I would say email is going to be your best bet for any sort of large scale or medium scale question that requires substantial responses or substantial thought. So if for instance you are struggling with how to get through a particular point in a section that you've been assigned and you want input from your group members, email is probably going to be your best approach for that, because it's fairly easy to write well thought out answers. For smaller scale questions, smaller scale concerns, things like that, you could use group chat, you could use any sort of instant messaging type service. You can use different types of apps, all of which allow you to text collaboratively, basically, or text multiple people. Chances are that many of you know more about the options for that than I actually do, because I don't group chat or anything like that. Another really good option that you have is something like Skype or Zoom, which is going to allow, or FaceTime as well, something that's going to allow you to sort of video chat and have actual conversations. Obviously, you can also do phone calls if you want to, but I don't think people really do phone calls that much anymore. People mostly text or FaceTime or whatever it is. But those sort of technologies like Zoom, where you can very easily connect multiple people to a meeting, or Skype or something like that, that's going to allow you to create some of that sort of face-to-face interaction that you would otherwise have in an in-person meeting. The other major thing that I'm going to recommend that you do is set up a Google Doc. And I talked about this in the other video as well. But you want to set up a Google Doc because you can collaboratively write in that. And so in the last portion of this video, I'm going to show you how to do that, how to set up a Google Doc so that you can get multiple authors with permission to write on it. The reason that I think, and normally I don't recommend composing for school in Google Docs because I think Microsoft Word is a better program, but the reason that Google Docs is better for collaborative writing is because you can have multiple authors working on the same document. And so people can make changes, they can add things, they can change things, they can write their portion in, and their collaborators will be able to see it, and so that's all really useful. So now I'm going to sort of switch over and I'm going to show you how to set up a Google Doc and how to add multiple authors to it, which is so the thing that you want to do, in my opinion, the most effective way of collaboratively writing an essay. Alright, so for this second half of the video, I wanted to show you how to make sure that you are sharing a Google Doc with your co-authors. So this is easiest if you have a Google account, a Gmail account, which I would suggest is a good sort of personal account, a good personal email account to have anyway. But once you do that, you want to go to docs.google.com, start a new document, and then you'll be able to type in here. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. A lot of the options and stuff that they have through Google Docs are similar to what Microsoft Word has, but not entirely, which is why I recommend using Microsoft Word. But in order to share this document with others so that they can edit as well, it's pretty straightforward. You just want to click this share button here, top corner in blue, top right hand corner, and that's going to drop down this menu, and you've got a couple of different options here. So one is if you have specific people that you want to share this document with, you can type their names, and so if they are in your email contacts, so if I wanted to share this for instance with Andy Stout, I could select her, and then what you want is to make sure that it's selected can edit, because if they are listed for can comment or can view, then that's going to limit whether or not they can write on the document itself. And for collaborative writing, what you really want is to have them be able to write in this section. So if I had shared this with Andy, she would be able to type in this document and it would show up on both of our screens. The other option that you have is this Get Shareable Link option. So if you click on that, it'll automatically copy this link to your dashboard, but you can also copy it yourself either by right-clicking and pressing copy, or Control C or Command C if you have a Mac. And then you would want to select anyone with the link can edit, and then all you need to do is send this link to whoever it is that you're collaborating with. So as long as they have that link and they can click this document through that link, they would be able to write in this document. So again, for me, for my money, that's the easiest way of collaborative writing at a distance. So that would be what I would recommend doing. And then one way that you can do this, because for the formal analytical reports, you're going to want to turn this in as a PDF. So you can go to File, Download, and download it as a PDF file. What you want to do before you turn this in, though, is take a look at the PDF and make sure that all of your formatting, all of your design choices, all of your spacing, everything like that looks the way that you want it to look based on the Google Doc. One of the issues you sometimes run into when composing in Google Docs is that if you open the document in a different format, especially if you open it as a Word document, sometimes things will look different. Because you're turning in a PDF for this project, it should look the same. It should save it exactly the same as what you see on your screen, but you always want to check and make sure.